begin to end the 7 races of the International Cross Country Snowmobile Federation and the prestigious St. Paul to Winnipeg race, which stretched more than 2,000 miles, farther than the distance from Chicago to Los Angeles or from Minneapolis to Mexico. Every mile of the way is a struggle for man and machine to simply survive. The odds are 3-to-1 against even finishing a single race, and at least 200-to-1 against winning. But someone will win, and win more races, and earn more ICCSF championship points than anyone else. He'll be the champion, the best cross-country snowmobile race driver in North America. The season begins in December at the 250-mile North Dakota Governor's Trophy Run, the first race on the circuit. Prize money totaling $10,000 attracts 180 drivers who will battle it out in the snow-filled ditches from Bismarck to Carrington and on to Grand Forks. When the sleds reach the county road ditches, the race gets down to cases. Snow-covered rocks take their toll of skis, spindles, tracks, and suspensions. And by the end of the first day, 95 machines are out of the running. Only 85 sleds, less than half the starters, are still in the running for the final dash to Grand Forks. Leading the survivors into Grand Forks is Brian Nelson of Wilmar, Minnesota, aboard his John Deere Liquidator. Nelson's total elapsed time for the 2-day race was 5 hours, 24 minutes, 54 seconds. His victory was worth $2,500 plus 30 points toward the year-end championship crown. Next stop is Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. 150 drivers gather at the starting line to take a shot at the $5,000 first prize money. Among them is North Dakota winner Brian Nelson, who gets an assist with his equipment from mechanic Hubert Fixon. Nelson and his Enduro Team Deere teammates, as well as Team Arctic, are among the pre-race favorites. The winner will be the driver who covers the 12 laps around the 18.5-mile course laid out on Balsam Lake in the fastest elapsed time. The glassy, smooth surface is quite a contrast to the ditches of North Dakota, and drivers put the hammer down and let the rooster tails fly. Speeds in excess of 90 miles an hour are recorded on radar. At the end of the 8th lap, Nelson makes a refueling stop and gets encouragement from his pit crew. Young Steve Sperry, aboard number 58, also stops for fuel, and the two drivers hit the lap counting gates virtually tied for the lead. With only 2 laps remaining, the race boiled down to a duel between Nelson, Sperry, and Tom Artie of Randolph, Minnesota, who moved into 3rd position to challenge the leaders. But it was 16-year-old Sperry of Minneapolis who flashed across the finish line first. Nelson's 2nd-place finish added 29 points to his championship total. And Artie barreled his Liquidator across the line 1 minute behind Nelson. Good for 3rd place and 28 championship points. The South Dakota Governor's Cup was the 3rd stop on the circuit, a 2-day, 250-mile run from Aberdeen to Mobridge and back to Aberdeen, with a $3,000 check waiting for the winner. By race time, snow was falling heavily, snow that covered goggles and cut visibility to near zero, snow that made ditch running softer but slower. Snow that drifted and sucked up snowmobiles, leaving drivers stranded along the course. Of the 156 machines that started the race, only 65 crossed the finish line. And it was Chuck Anderson of Hawley, Minnesota, on a Polaris who took the checkered flag for the win. Next on the tour was the big one, the St. Paul to Winnipeg International 500. The I-500 is the longest race of all, stretching almost 600 miles across the worst terrain winter can create. The $10,000 first-place prize money attracts a field of 385. Included are the top racing teams, as well as hundreds of independent drivers anxious to test their skill and courage against the pros. The first day of the four-day race runs from St. Paul to Alexandria. The machines lead St. Paul in waves of 10, 3 minutes apart. One machine, apparently suffering from indigestion, needs a little help from the driver to get going. Once in the open country, drivers open throttles as wide as conditions allow. Stacy Redmond of Mason City, Iowa, powers his liquidator on the straightaway. Abe Coop of Steinbach, Manitoba, does the same on his John Deere liquefier. Number 51 is Glenn Wasmuth of Battleford, Saskatchewan. The torrid pace eliminates an incredible 2/3 of the machine. Drivers Lauren Zutz and Robert Prezequist finished 1-2 at the end of the first leg. Brian Nelson was in third place, 12 minutes behind the leader. The survivors of the first day leave Alexandria on the second leg to water, a distance of 125 miles. Conditions were good, and drivers hoping to move into contention piloted their machines more than 60 miles an hour in the ditches, 70 to 80 miles an hour where the race route was marked up on the country roads. On the course, duels between individual drivers take place, like this one between number 30, Alan Stern from New London, Wisconsin, aboard a liquidator, and an unidentified Polaris driver. Sometimes the result is disastrous. Tom Otte powers his machine through the ditches using a unique stand-up driving style, stopping only to check on another driver who crashes. Zutz and Prezequist strengthen their hold on the 1-2 positions at the end of the second day. Nelson slips into fifth place, trailing Zutz by almost an unsurmountable 25 minutes. Second place Prezequist challenges teammate Zutz for the lead. Nelson speeds his liquidator from the starting line, determined that